So it wasn't a couple minutes after we got down here and the first problem. So they were just getting started on loading here the first trailer, and the sprayer jet hose came detached, and so there was a little, oh my goodness, what's going on? Hose was going hither and yon, spraying water all over. I wasn't able to get footage of that. I just know that when there's some sort of problem, I just stand back and stay out of the way. That's the best thing I can do. So anyway, yeah, they're just kind of getting things back in order here right now before starting up for a second time. So Warren sent Emily and Liam down to lay out the boom on the next bed, and so we're just going to walk down there. We're kind of getting off in the weeds here, Maria. Can we go back onto the trail?
Yeah.
Let's get back onto the trail. Colt is really into wanting to push the stroller, and he's just barely tall enough to reach.
Oh, you're gonna push there? I'll push
Oh,
up
that's
top.
a smart spot.
I'll push up top and push there.
So basically what happens is that since cranberries float, once they're knocked off of the cranberry vines, they all float, and then they start at one end of the bed, and usually the wind has carried the fruit to one end or the other. So right now the fruit is down at that end. What happens then is that they just lay this boom from one end to the other, and it gets attached to one four-wheeler, and then it attaches to the other four-wheeler, and then they slowly go back. Like now Liam is driving and Emily's at a standstill. Oh, Colt is not having it right now. Uh-oh, what happened? Took a little walk around the bed to get a different angle here. And so basically what they do is they seesaw back and forth. So Emily's in the stopped position, and now what happens is that Liam, he drives forward for a ways until he gets kind of just a little bit ahead of Emily where she is. And they just go real slow. There isn't really a whole lot right now, just because we're at the very end of the bed where there isn't, we're on the opposite end of where the wind pushed the fruit. So they're just trying to get this boom right down in the water so it gets and corrals in every single berry. So once they get up to this point, this is where the booming gets definitely more technical, because they want to make sure that they get that boom right down along the edge here in the ditch, and then, you know, they're just, the goal is to get every berry the first round. They will do what they call a cleanup round, which is a second booming, and you know, obviously there's usually very, very little fruit. Hopefully I can take you guys back out later, show you a little bit more, because my battery died while I was out there. But lunch today is just ham sandwiches, as well as cream of broccoli soup, and then we have some assorted zucchini chocolate chip muffins, butterscotch walnut bars, and M&M cookies. All right, well, everyone is up. Everyone, you know, the grandkids, they are up from their naps, and it's about 5 to 4 now. This afternoon, I did a little bit of editing, gave water to the chickens, picked some corn for tonight's supper. Maria was watching a movie. Her and Joe were coloring. We just kind of hung around the house while everyone was napping. Oh, I also watered flowers. Last week my flowers really went downhill. It was such a busy week with school, and just, I don't know, it seemed like we had a lot of different things. We had a number of events. I had some events I had to cook for and bake for and things like that. So anyway, the first thing to go is the flowers, and so I'm kind of trying to resurrect them right now. We'll see what happens. But I am also kind of over the flowers at this point in the year, because the garden is still producing like crazy. I have so many tomatoes. That's not what I came here to talk to you about, though. So here's one of the freezer meals. This was from my most recent freezer meal video, hamburger pie. And I wrote on there, remove the saran wrap. So I just took off the foil. Now it is Monday, like I said, at 4 o'clock, and I pulled this out of the freezer and put it into the refrigerator yesterday at probably, I don't know, sometime in the morning. I did that, and it is actually still frozen, which is okay. I've had this happen plenty of times before, so like I said, it is 4 o'clock. They will quit working sometime around, well, I think their goal time is usually around 5. Sometimes it is later than that. But anyway, Sam doesn't get back from school today until around 6 or later, maybe 6:30. And Warren also has to drive in semi-loads of fruit tonight. So it doesn't really matter what time we eat. That's what I'm trying to say here to you guys. It does not matter what time. So I'm just going to get my oven set on 300 degrees, nice and low. And I'm going to foil this because I don't want the cheese to get too brown. I'm just going to pop it in frozen and let it thaw in the oven. So it may take 2 hours for this to get done, but that's why I kind of like to have my plan written up in advance, so I don't really, I'm not at that point where it's 5 o'clock and it's like, oh no. So our September weather is not ideal for hauling, for harvesting, for hauling, whatever, cranberries right now, because it is just way too hot. And so basically, you have this loaded with wet cranberries. It really has to be in the shade. So Warren actually stages these all and drives them in at night. Not at night, but after the day's work. So one of the trailers is right now in our shed, but there is not space for 3 trailers filled with fruit in the shed. So supper tonight is going to be one of our freezer meals. This is the hamburger potato pie, shepherd's pie, cottage pie. There's so many different names depending on, I guess, what kind of meat you use and all of that. I grew up calling it beef potato pie. So that's what we're going to call it. We're also going to have some corn on the cob. I also have some peppers, and I'm still working through the last of our garden cucumbers here. So that will be supper on this first night of harvest. Oh, to have a 10-year-old uncle. Everything is fun and games until someone gets hurt, right? Right, Peter?
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. We are on day 2 of cranberry harvest. I wonder if Dad knows that this... Oh, yes, because the other one is there. Okay, we're walking through an area where Warren would normally stage a trailer, a filled trailer, and because it's shady. We had some storms move in about, I think it was somewhere between 4 and 5 this morning. We had a good line of storms move through, thunder, lightning, but it cleared off, or not cleared off, but at least the storm cleared out probably by 8 o'clock, because once everyone was here for work, it was all ready. It was all good to go. Yes.
So I forgot to tell you yesterday, but yesterday when we were working, Rick found a garter snake swimming through the cranberries that he threw up on the dike, and I found a hog-nosed snake.
2 snakes? You know, I was thinking yesterday that no one mentioned anything about snakes, but I guess...
Emily saw the hog-nosed snake, and then she was like, ah!
Yeah, I bet. It's a little eerie. So they just finished this morning harvesting all the berries, all the cranberries from this bed here. So that's just the boom still out there. They will load that boom onto a trailer. There's kind of a method to that. And they'll haul that boom over to that bed there. So everybody's just kind of standing by the tractor. That's the berry cleaner, getting ready to move it. Actually, I think what will happen is Warren will move it, and then we'll catch up them and watch them get it all set up and ready to go. Oh, good one. That was on film.
All right.
Oh, there it goes. It's not big enough for frog legs, honey. We are not cooking frog legs today. Oh boy, look at them all. Here's another one. Oh, so close.
I got it.
Nice.
It's good. There's so many trees. Yeah, no. It's a tiny one.
Okay, well, we had headed back before. I didn't get a ton of footage. What's going on? Is your sister, she's got your milk, doesn't she? Oh goodness, brother and sister, always wanting to share everything, huh, you two? So anyway, what happened is that we were down there and then it was 11 o'clock and I thought I better get back to the house because if I'm not back at the house at 11, I can't get these two fed because the idea here, kind of our routine, so far has been that I feed them before everyone else comes in for lunch so I can get the floor cleaned up. We are having leftover Tuesday. So I did cut up some garden tomatoes. We have 2 sandwiches left from yesterday that I made. I have a little bit left of the cream of broccoli soup. And in the oven, I have 2 casseroles. I have the chicken from Sunday night and from last night, I have the hamburger potato pie. We always call it beef potato pie, but it's not beef, it's venison. Tonight for supper, we're going to be having one of my favorite non-meat. Well, we are going to have meat with the meal, but this would be a meal in and of itself. I like to saute onions and peppers, which I have over here. Onions and peppers in some butter. And then we're going to make grilled cheese. So whatever kind of cheese that we have or that you like, with the sauteed onions and peppers, and then I also like to put a couple tomatoes in it and then grill that, and it makes just the most delicious grilled cheese. Okay. Yeah, whatever you have.
This is the only pack.
It is harvest day 3. It's already 4:15. We're gonna get out and go for a walk and see what is happening down there. It's 4:15. We may miss it. It's a Wednesday, which means that is the day that we are away from home pretty much all day doing homeschool things. There's music lessons, our homeschool co-op. We do come home for a quick hour and a half in the middle there before zipping back out the door. But anyway, we are home. We got home a few minutes ago and I had my chicken thawed. I feel like we've been doing a lot of chicken here lately, but that's just how it's working out. So I am making Grandma's oven fried chicken. I have 1 stick of butter in here. I put it in the oven as the oven was coming up to temperature, and I melted that. I just have a paper bag here. I put my flour, my salt, my pepper, and my paprika in here. I have all chicken thighs, and so I did cut off that little flap of skin that they fold over to the back side, you know, so that they can charge you a little bit extra on the weight. Anyway, I cut that off of each one, and then I just shook it in the bag. I put it in here skin side down. I'm going to pop this in the oven for at least 30 minutes. This is more than 3 pounds. This is actually 6.3 pounds of chicken, and the recipe calls for like a 2 to 3 pound frying chicken cut up. So since this is a little bit tighter packed in here, it's going to take longer than the hour to bake. So I'm going to put it in right now. We're going to go down for a walk. I'm not even going to set the timer. When we get back, we'll turn this over to bring the skin side up. We'll cook it for another 30 to 45 minutes. That will get that top all crisped up. And then I'm going to use the drippings this time to make gravy, because the plan is to make some Instant Pot mashed potatoes when we get back from our walk. Well, I see a four-wheeler going into the shed. That means they are done for today. It looks like they're done for today. I just got the... And that's not Warren driving the truck, but that must mean they're done. I hear more equipment coming. Should we go see what equipment is coming, Aisley? Let's go look. Well, good morning. It is harvest day 4, and we are going to get out on the marsh this morning. So Thursdays is a little bit quieter day for me at home, which is a good thing. We are going to feed the chickens here first. Yesterday I gave them 5 gallons of water. Why does it look like they're out of water? Okay, well, I guess what we're going to do is get jugs of water, get the chickens water, get them fed, and then we're going to head down on the marsh. It always seems like there is so much that has to happen, and we are always missing out on all of the fun like photo opportunities down on the marsh, but we're going to get this done. Well, I figured we should come say hi to Sugar. Oh. Just gave her some food too. And look at the kitties. We just make like a little kitty pile. It's so cute. They're just starting to be able to kind of stand up a little bit on their own. It's so cute. So today is a gorgeous sunny day. It's much colder today. We are all in sweatshirts and got hoods up and everything. It's chilly, but it's a little too windy. It makes harvest hard when it's so windy, because it just you know, the cranberries are floating. Whoopsie, stand up. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. The cranberries are floating, and so as the wind blows, it blows the cranberries. Okay. blows the cranberries all around. As the wind blows, it kind of will pack the cranberries into one area. Sometimes it packs them into the area you want them, and sometimes it packs them to the sometimes it'll kind of like stack them up in on the wrong side of the cranberry bed, so then it just makes booming a lot harder. So yesterday was really windy. Feels like today is going to be pretty windy, but at least it's cooled off. From this angle, it looks like we are maybe getting here at the tail end again. It was a bummer. I really wanted to see this bed with all the fruit floating in it, but yesterday was just too busy of a day for us to get down here. Like I told you before, Wednesdays take us away pretty much all day. Okay, so if Warren knows that this, that I'm filming right now, he is not going to be probably too pleased because, I mean, this is like the ugliest part of harvest right here. So this here, this boom, not the one that he's, yes, the one that he's pulling is actually the cleanup round. And so over there you can see cranberries that were corralled on the cleanup round. So it's not a lot, but like we always say, the goal is to get every single cranberry. And anyway, that's when I got down here again, was the cleanup round. So not the prettiest part of harvest, but it is part of it nonetheless. And and I see he's got some different chest waders on. It looks like he's doing a little R&D right now. He's trying out some new waders to see how they work, to see if it's something that he might want to order more of. So yeah, we'll get the lowdown when he comes in, see what he thinks about those. Peter's telling a story about a buck that he just saw. He was emptying the trash trailer. He's like, Mom, I was emptying the trash trailer and I saw a buck. And I do apologize if there's a lot of wind noise right now. My little, like, wind, I always forget what it's called, like a wind silencer that goes on top of my camera actually fell off a couple days ago. And I just haven't gotten a new one. Looks like Joe is up there.
Oh boy. What's the matter, guys?
Everyone's having a meltdown right now.
They all see Mama. You want to play with my
That's exactly right.
ear protectors?
All right, so Warren's trying out some new. Some new waders.
Kind of mini pearling it today.
You and Colt both.
Yeah. So
So what are you thinking about these?
I really like them. I think I'm going to order a few pair because they're light. You can really move in them. And they're a reasonable price.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they look nice. They look like they would be pretty comfortable.
they're a little thinner, so they're a little cooler in the water. But I think if you wore long underwear and heavy wool socks, it'll stay warm.
Yeah.
Bam!
Well, this pretty much marks the end of early harvest for us.
Hooking up to the last empty trailer. See it right? Engage the brakes, right? Yep, they're engaged.
So we'll be having a week of no harvest before starting back with the
Starting back up with a full 2 weeks of berry picking.
Yeah. So I know that a lot of people tend to have questions about cranberry harvest. So if you do have any, pop them down in the comments below. And in the next week, when I start doing filming again for harvest again, I'll try to answer some of those questions as we tour around the marsh. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon.
See you next week.